Previously on Roadworthy-ish.
I'm not gonna like this next part, but it needs to be done. Now it's basically dry underneath. So now we can have a look at everything in the state that it's really in. And as before, this is just really good looking. A lot of the stuff that was on there was just dirt and grime and had nothing to do with any problems. It is really such small things and patches that we need to do. So I think we will just be addressing that, starting by a little rust repair in the arch, the rear arch, and then just cleaning up a lot of the other stuff. And also a little trick, if you want to undercoat your S13 at some point, when doing the rears, I'll just show you here. Up in here are two rubber grommets, one in each side. If you pull those out, you have a chance to clean the cavity in the rear quarter. And you really need to do that because this one, they're vented, both of them. So on the right side of the car, the vent is like so, open from the bottom. On the other side, I think it's open from the top. But a lot of crap will come in here, and this was actually filled with dirt and all kinds of crap. So when I emptied this out, a whole lot of stuff was in here. This is now dry and feels very clean and not rusty, but if you have dirt and stuff in here, condensation will keep this wet all the time and it will just rust. It will eat up your rear quarters. So pull out those rubber tabs. It's much easier to see here on the other side. You got it right there. You see? Pull it out. Lots of crap in here. I really have to see what is in here. This feels like a bottle, but we'll get them out later. And there's some foam and some other stuff, but basically you can just pull crap out of here. That's a screw, cool. And then you can just fill it with water and let it drain. Do that a couple of times. You'll do that anyway. Just let it dry and no harm is done. Some people will say, well, you put water in there. Yeah, but the condensation will be there daily anyway, so just let it dry out. Apply all your underbody coating and then put in the tabs again. But this is now rust proofed and ready to receive the undercoating. Also, the last small rust repair that we did here on the bottom of the arch has now had some time to have this rubber layer to go hard and is ready to receive the undercoating. I'm gonna undercoat the entire inside of the fender well as well, because I don't want that to rust. Towers, sorry, focus, god damn it. There you go. Towers and everything will be undercoated. But again, as I said, this car is just unbelievably clean. It's like all the places that hasn't even been sealed. Nissan never sealed these. You can do that if you want to, I don't know, seal it, but I kind of feel like it's not necessary because this is just so good. There's just like nothing here. So under sealing is next. Yeah. next day, let's have a look at this under sealant as it has dried. And it is just perfect. Oh yeah. This is just such a clean car. Oh my god. This is what you get when you find a car that has been sitting inside for 12 years, something like that, dry and warm. You can get lucky and get something that is not rotted out. And now, having applied all this undercoating, this car has a lot of years left in it before anything will be a problem. So now it's time to crawl around like a dog and put on this rear axle. Alright, in preparation to putting on the rear axle or anything heavy underneath the car, it is paramount that you lay out all your hardware so that you are good to go when you have got a lot of weight just hanging on jack stands or on a lift or stuff like that. So once you get it up there, it's gonna be sitting pretty firm on these guys. That's not my main worry. My main worry is that if the support should go at any point, it will be coming straight down. So put on at least 2 of these. I'm gonna do the front and the back on the opposite. Just loose, probably all 4, and then do all the connections up, so you don't crawl around underneath with the weight unsupported in any way. And then you can maneuver it to exactly where it needs to be and tighten everything back up. The diff is back on. All the fastings has been done. So here comes the moment where we try to see if the car will roll over backwards. And no, it just sits on the quick jacks as it should. Get this thing out of the way. Now there only is the last few things that needs to be buttoned up. Selection of cables and stuff like that. These cables for oil temperature. We need to do them up. Here we go with some zip ties to identify it, which is always a good thing. So those are done. Then we have a plug for the vehicle speed sensor. Which is here, or is this the rear ABS? It could be the rear ABS. Also, what else we got? Oh yeah, oil cooler, electric motor, and oil cooler, which needs to be mounted over here. So let's get all them things bolted up and move on to brakes and prop shaft. All right. S13 service. One of the things that gets neglected is the diff and transmission fluids. The transmission fluids and the diff fluids for this one is specified for a non or an open diff 80 W90, but a lot of people they run the 7590, something like that. Doesn't really matter. Both are good. The only thing you need to crack this open is a wrench like this. You just undo it, drain it, and then to fill is this one. You need a pump or a funnel that will go in there with some sort of hose on it, and then you need to put in the diff. It will take 1.5 quarts 1.55 liters. So let's get some new fluid in there and move on to the transmission. And as mentioned, I use pump to get the transmission fluid in. I will use this, use the appropriate filler neck, have some towels ready, and then put in 2 quarts in this tank, pump in 1.5 quarts, and drain the rest back into the canister. Then I'll have that for the next oil change. And then when you set it up, you just pump away. When it starts coming out the fill hole, that is when you should stop and put in the plug. And then on to the transmission. I run this Castrol 75 W90. It's a GL4, and the diff oil needs to be a GL5. Worth noticing.
Next time on Roadworthy-ish, we start tearing into the body to get the small rust repairs done so that we can get this car back together and out driving. So remember to subscribe for that, and I will be seeing you on the next one.